Hello, welcome to the channel. My name is Carlos D. I am an artist from Los Angeles, California. In this video, you're going to see me at the drawing table creating some art. The video is not intended to be instructional, but informative and entertaining. If you learn something from the video, then that's awesome. Today, joining me for a casual conversation is my cousin Anthony. We are fond of movies, especially 70s, 80s, and 90s films, and that'll be the topic for today. Anthony, thanks for taking the time to hang out today, dude.
Ain't no problem, man. It's good to say from Los Angeles, man. It's California. It's
Yeah,
like,
I gotta
whoa.
make sure people know what's up.
Nice.
This is Cali.
That's cool, though.
Films. I know I recently let you borrow the Dick Tracy movie, the 1990 Dick Tracy movie, directed by Warren Beatty and starring Warren Beatty, with Al Pacino and like a solid group of people. I mean, they're really, really good actors, right? And Madonna looking hella fine, dude. to me, dude, I was like, damn, she looked really good in this film. And score, the musical score, Danny Elfman.
Danny Elfman, yeah.
And I checked up on some information about the making of this film. And I guess they were trying to ride the coattails of Batman, Michael Keaton, the first one, the Tim Burton one, right? And I guess in all that they picked up on Danny Elfman's score right from Batman. So
yeah, because it was a lot of like, I was like, but then I thought it was Warner Brothers. Like, I guess Warner Brothers has that sound like Batman, but at the same time,
You know, but another film, I don't know if you remember, but Darkman.
Oh, yeah, Darkman.
Darkman, that score is by Danny Elfman too.
I saw it at the drive-in.
Yeah, I remember we saw a back-to-back feature. We saw Darkman and Child's Play.
Oh my god!
My dad took us. It was funny, dude. But I remember sitting at the theater and watching that movie. But I watched it pretty recently, and I'm like, is Batman gonna pop out of here somewhere during Darkman? Because it was Danny Elfman, Right, it has that.
It has a lot of it here too. That little.
That's just Danny, dude, doing his thing, man. But see, okay, so for the audience, we're also I chose to just play the film. It's on silent, so we're just kind of like recapping it at the same time. And here at the beginning of the movie for Dick Tracy, some of the mobsters are sitting at a round table. It looks like they're probably gambling or playing cards, and at the moment they just got shot up. But I really enjoyed seeing all the makeup, like the makeup on the characters, right?
Yeah.
Flat top looked like flat top, even from the comic guy.
Back then it wasn't so much the transformation from comic book to movies, so I could see that.
So that's one thing I really appreciated about this, is that they brought, or felt like they brought the cartoons to life.
Yeah.
And I was hoping to have more interaction, right? Like the characters have more interaction with Dick Tracy, but it just kind of, it feels like it was more big, like Boss Caprice or whatever, Al Pacino's character.
It was kind of rushed too. It felt like it just jumped in and things just started happening.
You know what? I didn't really pick up on that until I saw like some reviews about it. And
it's like they were going quick.
Really? You picked up on that, huh?
I guess they have a lot of characters too in the the whole detective Dick Tracy story. So if they had a cover, that's a lot of covering.
That's very true, man. That's true.
Yeah, I didn't know who directed it though.
Yeah.
I was kind of like, maybe that's what happened.
You didn't take it too much.
Yeah.
I really like the aesthetic, right? Like the bright colors. And,
that's what works.
It feels really cartoony, and it feels almost like a live action show or something that you could go see at Universal Studios or something.
I seen a black and white one. It worked okay too there, but this makes it more poppy. Actually pops.
Black and white.
Black and white Dick Tracy, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like 1942 or something like that.
Even early way.
Yeah, it was good, but it's not. It just actually pops, and then
right.
all the makeup and all the characters and everything. So
the exaggerated faces.
Yeah, so that was kind of cool.
But the overall, I like the film.
Yeah, that. See,
yeah, dude,
that's kind of cool. Oh, and then they used a lot of the
matte painting.
The studio lots right here, Back to the Future.
Oh,
like the cafe and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Of course, there's so much they can shoot.
Right, but look at that. That it's like they matte paint. The whole thing is a painting.
Yeah.
Right, and then you just have the live action going on there. Man, that's That is such a good crazy, look, man. Mm-hmm. Right? All the CGI stuff, this modern stuff is, I suppose it does its trick, but
yeah, yeah. One of our friends from Venice used to do that for Friday the 13th.
Matte painting?
He used to do all the matte painting.
Wow, that's dope.
I was like, "Oh, really? You did that?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, you seen this?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know. I don't know. It was a painting." He's like, "Yeah, most of it is."
That's so cool.
That was before graphics.
Yeah. And there's just something about a matte painting. Although it looks like a set decoration, right? Like if you were to go to see a live play, which I haven't seen in a long time, but that's the feel that I get whenever I see a matte painting or something. Like I know it's fake.
Yeah.
And I like that look. I like the look of the fakeness.
Yeah, it kind of works, huh?
Yeah, don't
like
try
westerns,
to sell me realism.
Like westerns, they that far shot, the wide shot panning. You see the western ones,
like out in actual, painting. Or is that a painting?
It's a painting, yeah. It's a painting here, but you could tell in the movie. But it's like, well,
Sure.
That's the only way you can get it.
And something like this, right? Like the Dick Tracy film that's pulled from the comic strip.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like. Make it fun. Make it, a fun opportunity to make these characters that are cartoons, but make them live. Give them life and stuff. This dude right here, Lips, man. That's a looking character.
It's perfect though for that.
But it is. It's so funny. And Madonna, dude. For me, I love this look on Madonna, man.
That's when she was coming up. That's why she's like the peak of her everything, Well, she got the fame and it was right there.
Man.
So she was born beta at the time too.
I heard.
That's when she got all that stuff. The only thing that drove me nuts is that song. She playing the whole movie. I was like, shut up with that song. It just like drove me nuts after a while, dude. It was like, I know she was coming up and trying to, but come on, put some other people, some other girl in it, someone else. It was like the whole song over and over and over and over again. I was like, oh, she was just trying to stop it. I get it, like just joke trying to be number one in the world. So
yeah, and being in a big film, I mean, it's more marketing.
So there's cafe.
It's more marketing. Yeah. That was really cool.
Park in the middle.
And it's cool how it feels like that place right there is empty, right? Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, like you said, it's in a lot. Mm-hmm. They have the opportunity to close everything down, but it's like just those characters walking there. Like you're not distracted by anything else, and there's some like this like kind of comic book feel to it where you're not drawing in a bunch of crowds.
Yeah.
The artist is just you just focus on whoever the story is about and moving the story forward. So I thought that was a really cool thing about the feel of the world of Dick Tracy and what's happening and stuff.
That's what you try to do with your paintings, like your drawings and stuff like that?
Okay, yeah. So here we're looking at the video as well of the artwork that I'm making. On the previous video, I explained where the inspiration of this came from. So I'll just leave it at that. And I could kind of go back and listen to that stuff, so I don't repeat myself too much. But
you kind of just wing it though.
So I'm trying different things, different techniques on different materials. So this is acrylic paint on a wooden board. The one that I did last time for the video, it was acrylic paint on an acrylic canvas panel. But the panel, I layered it a lot with titanium white, and the surface, it was a bit too slick because it's shiny, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, cool, well, let me keep on moving on. Let me try something else. And so this one here, I've done oil paintings on wood panel, and oil sticks to wood panel so nicely, man. It's such a satisfying feel to the hand, like to dab the paint onto the board, and that just the way that it sticks on there from the paint to the bristle to the brush to your finger. I mean, it's just so satisfying to me, man. So I'm like, well, anyway, let me see what this feels like. Let me see if this turns out to be more satisfying to work on. When I completed it, even in working on it, I was noticing that the acrylic it's gonna need a couple passes because the paint wasn't as opaque as I wanted it to be. So I'm like, I'm gonna have to go over it a couple times. So that's me discovering right new things. But
Yeah, because everything has a different feel and
Yeah. And so from here, I went on to try acrylic on illustration board, and that's what that little one is over there.
Oh, okay.
And that, man, acrylic paint sticks to that real nicely too. So I think going forward, I'm probably going to experiment more. If I do, I've been doing a lot of just inking on bristle board. So which is just what comics are generally done on. But I'm just doing the sketch pencil and then I'll ink it. So this is what's called Bristol board.
That looks like that's kind of cool.
So that's what I've been doing mostly, and I have put acrylic paint on Bristol board, and that's cool too. But I think I'm gonna try more with illustration board. It's it's a bit thicker, so it could handle more more water-based mediums. So and it picked up the black fairly well, and that's usually the thing is making sure that the black comes out black, because like you could see, right, it's all kind of choppy.
Yeah,
this is the first pass. If I were to layer it thick, then yeah, I can get it opaque. But when you're doing detail stuff, right, I want to make a specific shape. I can't pile on that paint on the brush, and cover it also. Or maybe there's a way to do that. I just don't know. All this stuff is just kind of like me figuring things out on a whim, and just experimenting and exploring. But it's a lot of fun, man. So this one I took it to pretty much finish, and it was fun, process. But the actual design, like I had mentioned to you for the t-shirts, I'm finishing them digitally. So I do it on the iPad, and it's a lot faster and it's a lot cleaner, right?
Yeah.
Like to if I want to provide the JPEG or the PNG file, then it's a lot easier, obviously, just to keep it all digital and stuff. But what other black and white movies have you sseen that you can recall? Recently? Anything?
Not recently.
You know what I watched recently? Black and white. Well, no, I'm sorry. I think it was black and white, but it's on HBO Max. That got, I presume, it got remastered, right, in color. The Fly.
Oh, really?
The 1958 something like, I think it's 58 or 59, something like that.
Oh, that was just Goldblum, right?
Yeah, correct.
Someone else.
But those are on HBO Max also. The Fly 1 and 2, the modern ones. David Cronenberg directed the first one. I'm not sure if he did the second one. I can't recall. But so that
one's like the head of a human in a fly.
The head of
body?
a fly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was good though, dude.
Yeah, I remember seeing it,
man.
I remember seeing it, but I don't think I saw it all.
It's like you could tell it's that era film,
yeah,
right? The mannerisms, the way they speak, and all that stuff. But this one was in color, so I don't know if it looked like, I don't know what it looked like in black and white. But the one that's on HBO Max, it's in color, and the lab setup and the portals. I don't know if you remember the the transfer portals. They're not like the iconic ones that we know as iconic ones now, right? From the earlier ones or the 1980 ones, but they were just kind of like clear telephone booths looking things, right? But his whole lab was really cool looking, man, because it's like old school. It's kind of like, it kind of had a Frankenstein's lab kind of feel to it.
Okay, yeah,
and it had these neon tubes. And, why would anyone just have neon lights in their lab, or just taking up space?
Yeah.
But it looked really cool, man. Say his lab, and that story was really interesting. I don't really care to spoil or hey, don't spoil it for me or whatever. But I didn't know what to expect, right? Because I'd never seen it before, and I'm just like, well, I recently rewatched Fly 1 and Fly 2, and those are awesome, man. Classics, dude. Super awesome.
Oh, right.
But I'm like, let me give this one a shot, man. Let me see what this was all about, and where, as the story developed, right? Because I'm sure...
Give it credit for what happened.
I'm sure they took a glimpse at that one and saw, maybe how the story went. So it doesn't follow that story, the older one, the 1950s one. But it was a cool story in itself. In a way a bit sad, but
right, because then he's like, help me, right there when he's talking. Yeah, I really remember he's like,
that's you good memory, man.
It's like, help me, oh my god, I'm there. It's like,
it was a trip, because it's kind of like a body swap, more so than like this one here or the one with Jeff Goldblum, right? More nothing happens to the fly basically gets incorporated or spliced into him. But here, there's two outcomes. The fly has an outcome and the guy has an outcome. It's kind of a funny twist to it. But it was. I remember
they had the Incredible Shrinking Man, and then they have the Incredible Shrinking Women, or the Incredible Melting Man also. And it was like that. It was literally like, you know.
Oh wow.
You know, and then there was like the ones that look like pizza just melting and stuff like that.
That's awesome, dude.
That had those movies like in during our lunchtime, during at the auditorium and stuff like that.
Okay.
They used to have those dumb movies at school. I was like, I would walk in, I was like, what's this? Really Shrinking Woman? Walk out. But now you take them for granted now. You know, it's like wow.
Yeah. They're
but like the Fly, you have to see the first one. You know.
Like the 1950s.
Yeah, exactly. Because where does that story come from?
I recommend it. Well, I think it was a story. I think it was a short story from like a comic strip or something. Because they indicate on their story derived from this, and that. And then The Fly is just, at least the Jeff Goldblum one.
So I was also on HBO Max and I saw Mad Max.
Mad Max?
But
which one?
Look at the old one, right? The original?
Yeah.
The one when he's in Australia and he was like...
Yeah.
But it's confusing because I thought that was the original Mad Max. But then there's another Mad Max. And then there's like Mad Max Part 2. But Part 2 is not Part 2. It's Part 3. And then there's Thunderdome. And then there's Furiosa. What? And then there's a new one that came out last year.
Really?
Yeah. It's, that big guy, the father, the one with the white hair? He had a son that was big.
Yeah.
Okay, he's in a new movie. Because supposedly he doesn't die. You see him going in a car, but he doesn't die. And I'm like, what? They made another movie?
What? I didn't know about it.
So there's like another Mad Max now.
So, but it's always been Mel Gibson. Yeah. It was Mel Gibson from the start, right? It was Mad Max, and then
that kills his wife, so he wants to get revenge.
And then the second one, which I think it was the better one, I think it has like the more accolades or whatever.
With the little kid and the hair and the boomerang.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what's next after that one?
Thunderdome.
Oh, okay.
But then there's another one after that, right?
I don't think so. I don't know.
I was looking at them and like, wait, this doesn't make sense, because it has two Mad Maxes. And I was telling my dad, but look at the ears, and the ears, it was weird.
It was still Mel Gibson.
Yes, it was still Mel Gibson, except for the last one.
Well, the most recent one with Charlize Theron and Tom Hardy.
Yeah, it was always him. But it's weird because one of them jumps around. I forgot what it was, but it was confusing.
I didn't keep up with them. I thought that the look of the world was cool.
Yeah. Part 2 was good. Part 1 was just boring.
Yes,
it was like I understand how to be an intro and it's like
sure,
but it started off from there,
I agree. I would agree.
But Part 2 is when actually that world came in, dusty and the colors and all that stuff.
Yeah,
that changed everything.
I mean, it's I think that the Mad Max with Tom Hardy and Charlize Theron, I would have to say that does fall into the category of like cult film now, because it's respected. It was good, and it was. I think it was generally rated as a good film overall. So, persons that like that post-apocalyptic style stuff enjoyed it, and just the cars, the general audience, I think, just kind of enjoyed it. Extreme, but it was exciting, man. It was exciting.
That was fun, yeah.
And it was a perfect fit for.
I'm sure to my dad, and he liked it from beginning to end. He was like, "Well, it's pretty good." Awesome. Yeah. So but then they have another one, the new one. I was like, "When does this new one come from?"
Yeah,
like,
I heard nothing about it.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah,
but it's already
it's about Mad Max, I suppose.
I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen it. But the posters there, everything's there. And I don't know.
I'll look into it.
I don't know if Furiosa's in there or whatever, but it's the same Same world, you know.
It's just a continuation from what happened in the Tom Hardy one. Okay.
And that's where we were looking at it and we're like, oh, because he doesn't die. He just goes underneath the car.
Yeah.
He's all mad about the dad. They rip off his face and everything.
Yeah.
So they had to, I guess they had to bring him back or something. Cause,
and you know. It felt like they killed the dude, right?
The big guy?
The boss.
The boss, yeah. The boss died big time, yeah. They ripped off his face and the car blew up.
Oh, you're talking. Which character are you talking about?
The one that Manax that had the white hair, all big. The main bad guy that had all the wives.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. They didn't kill him?
No, his son. His son was all buff and big. He's like 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
Okay, that guy. He didn't die. He had like a big old hammer and everything.
Oh, so it's a continuation
from that part.
Based on. Okay.
Yeah.
So his son is
I guess gonna get revenge.
The war or something.
Because that was his dad's. Remember how they went back?
Yeah.
For the water and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So they ruined what his dad was growing there.
Right. Okay.
So.
Interesting.
Yeah. But I was like, because the posters there and everything, I was like, what the hell? When did this come out? It's like, what happened to Furious or what happened to Tom Hardy and everything?
And
I don't think they're there. I'm not sure.
You saw that on HBO Max?
Oh, yeah.
That it's available to watch. Okay.
Uh-huh.
I might have to check that out.
I didn't tell my dad. I haven't seen it yet, though. But it's there.
On HBO Max, there's
What's the Batman? He got Batman, everything with Batman.
Yeah, man.
It's like the DC part, you know?
Uh-huh.
When you see that.
Does your dad like those?
No. He doesn't like
smart man.
Yeah.
Well, on there, there's did you see the most recent Hellboy? I mean, I just say that in the order that they came out. The one that the dude has the long hair.
I don't know if I saw it all. I think I partly worked on it. So I did like a couple chapters.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think I actually saw it all. Yeah, the new guy, right?
Do you remember the story
of Hellboy?
Like that story? Well, no.
No. From the original, yes, but not this one.
Well, I personally don't know what original is or not because I think
like Nazis and you hit them.
Well, I don't know if that's the original.
Okay.
That might be. I don't know because like the graphic novels or comics or whatever, he has different adventures. Yeah. So it's not like a continuing thing, okay. Right? So in the ones that Guillermo del Toro directed, those were cool. Those were fun. I mean, I think Ron Perlman. Right?
Yeah,
man,
awesome.
Perfect look for him, right?
Awesome really guy. Cool. Yeah.
But I prefer those rather than this third one that came out. But I really liked the story, like the arc of this one, of the third one. I don't know if you remember, but it had to do with like a lineage to King Arthur.
Oh no, I remember
that. I thought that was interesting, and I believe that that's one of the arcs of the graphic novel itself or the comic itself.
Huh. Interesting.
And
no, I think I remember that. No.
I don't know what it is about it. I like the story, but I didn't really like feel too connected with like the characters as they were being presented, right? Like his team basically that they're forming. I don't know. I just
not the same as
I just didn't feel like a connection with them. But and the Hellboy, the look for Hellboy, I kind of felt like his personality was kind of a little too a little too satirical. Like they were trying to make him a little too funny, right? Like a punchline every now and then, and a little too much. Whereas Ron Perlman's character, I don't know what the comparison is with the actual comic, right? Like however Mike Mignola, the creator, envisioned Hellboy themselves. But I would say this, dude, especially after seeing Jodorowsky's Dune and kind of analyzing the filmmaking process from someone that wants to make a work of art of a film. Films are, the way I see things now is it's the interpretation of the director mostly, maybe producers here and there, but it's the interpretation, whatever adaptation it is the interpretation. So I see films that are taken from either a comic book, a story or a novel or whatever. I tried not to have the comparison of how close is it to the original. I really don't care, to be honest with you. If it's entertaining, it's entertaining. You know, regardless if they change things around from the original concepts. But if it's a good film overall, for me, I really don't care.
Just like that new Guillermo del Toro Pinocchio.
Did you see it?
People are like, oh, but it's not Pinocchio. It's like, but it's his version. It's like, it's different. It's not supposed to be the Pinocchio you're thinking about, you know.
And
then later on, they were like, ooh, that was good.
And to be honest with you, I think that the general population don't know the real Pinocchio story. The Italian Pinocchio.
Darker.
Man. When I was in Florence, I was in a printmaking program, and a gentleman that I guess he did a story of Pinocchio all in woodcuts.
Wow.
So he kind of like put it all together, and then and as I was like kind of like flipping through the woodcut prints and stuff, and I'm looking and I'm like, okay, cool. I'm sure they're more connected. You know, it's the Italian thing, right? I'm sure they're more connected to the story and they know it more as its original concept.
Not the Disney version.
And I'm looking through it, and this dude's hanging on a tree, man. Like, Pinocchio hangs himself.
Oh wow!
It's a
like,
I was like, whoa, dude! I never knew this about Pinocchio, man. And so it was a trip. So in getting ready to see this Pinocchio, because I saw it as well. It didn't connect with me. I'm not gonna say it was good or bad. It didn't connect with me.
Yeah.
I felt a little odd. Because there was a lot of iconography, like religious iconography. Like,
there was a lot
of it.
Yeah, it was too much.
And there was a lot of
there was a little too much.
like referencing to Mussolini, right? And the dude was kind of pretty much Nazi in a way. Like you kind of say, right? So I felt really strange in watching it. Like I don't know how to interpret.
They were like spoon feeding you all that.
It was just too strange for me. I love the stop motion stuff, man. What a great way to show Pinocchio. That's literally what he's doing. He's a moving puppet, right? And the stop motion stuff was awesome. Overall, the story, it was a bit too Guillermo del Toro for me, with his version of like creatures or whatever. His thing was about life and death and stuff, and I respect it. My opinion, it didn't, it didn't resonate with me. I didn't connect with the film, but it was interesting.
It took me a while. I didn't like the beginning. I was like just negative, and then towards the end, I got suckered in, I guess.
Okay.
But I appreciate it for what it was. It was, it was a good story. But yeah, you're right. The religion part is like, come on,
it was kind of
too
a
much.
trip.
Yeah, that's what I hate when like I'm watching just regular TV, or my dad's watching, or my mom, and it's like, God and this and that. And it's like, oh, here we go. It's like, and then at the end it says, this movie was brought to you by St. Leonard's Church of whatever.
Gotcha.
It's like, because they're sponsored by them,
Gotcha.
But there's like all those Lifetime movies, they do that, But like whatever.
I don't know what Guillermo del Toro's faith is like, but he likes doing that spooky stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it was good. It was dark. But I've seen other versions too of Pinocchio like that too.
Oh, really?
Pretty dark, yeah. But yeah, like you said, there's like, we only know the Disney version.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's cool and it's nice and all that, but there's so many other versions that we don't even know. Yeah. Probably, like you're saying.
Yeah.
People out there.
And there's another one, right? There's the new Disney one that.
Yeah, there's like two of them came out. Yeah, 2 or 3 came out.
Like 3. Close. Yeah, that's right.
Like boom, boom, boom. Yeah.
And I think there was an Italian director that made a Pinocchio one.
Oh, really?
Within the year, I think. Within the past year. So there's been a lot of.
I saw one with my mom. It was with that kid from Home Improvement. I forget his name.
He voiced one of the.
Yeah, and then he comes in real boy at the end.
Oh, okay.
So that was him, But he was like, that was. I guess he left the show when he left the show. It's been a while, yeah.
That was that one. What's been remade a bunch of times and reinterpreted, I guess, is the Beauty and the Beast.
Oh my God! Yeah,
there's this one that's a French one. Mm-hmm. Have you seen that?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know if it. I think it might have been on YouTube. One of the free films, right? But my brother mentioned it to me, and I think he has a DVD. And that one is interesting. Yeah. It's basically the same take, right? But I don't know. Maybe it just had a little bit more European flair to it, and it's like. screenplay and the way that the whole story developed. I liked it. I liked it. I didn't really. There was a live action one that Disney did, right?
Yeah.
With I can't recall if I saw. I believe I saw it, dude. But
Yeah, it was
see how
with,
it didn't connect
it was
with
with
me.
Hermione from the girl from Harry Potter.
Yeah,
she was the main character.
Yeah.
It was her.
Yeah.
I was like, her? Wait, put her? It was like, oh, okay. Well, you know, she had to put her somewhere.
Sure.
Yeah, that was the live action one. I mean, the cartoon was awesome.
Oh man, dude.
The live action was okay.
Are
It was
awesome,
yeah.
Dude. Yeah, those classic Disney films are cool.
But it was okay. They had all the characters in it, so it was okay. Except on this one, Garcon and his servant, the guy that they were, he was in love with them. They kept pushing that, and I was like, did he do that? And then he even sings the song, and he told him how much he loves him, and like, wow. And then towards the end, he's dancing with some other guy, and they're like, like when Disney would never do that, you know. And here they actually start.
That's probably
they're giving away little by little.
Yeah, the primer of the whole jump into that.
Yeah, so they were like, it was a big deal, but you know, no one really wanted to bring it up.
Sure.
But it was like, well, they gotta start catering, you know. So
I suppose.
Yeah, I was like, wow, he's being the beast to the jumping point.
That's all good. At least for me, man, that's why I really enjoyed these classic films, dude. Even if they're what we grew up on, let's say, right, 80s, 90s films, still they hold up, man.
Are they gonna do Spawn again?
So, man, I've been hearing that for like the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And that allegedly, so I think about 4 or 5 years ago, I recall seeing an interview with Todd McFarlane, and he was saying that he was going to sell rights to either one or two, but not both.
Okay.
Either to make a film or to allow the character to be used in Mortal Kombat, the video game.
Okay.
And he came out.
For that movie to come out too.
He came out as a character in Mortal Kombat. So I think if for anyone that like saw that interview and you know you kind of kept it in the back of your mind, you're like you would think like, oh, okay, so no movie, because he said one or the other, but not both. At least that's what I recall. Maybe I'm not accurate on my memory, but I sort of recall him saying that. So when it came out, I keep up fairly with the news for the fighting game community and stuff, and like I enjoy watching tournaments from time to time while I'm working. You know, just kind of keeps me entertained or keeps me company. These dudes fighting each other in the background, but so I saw the Spawn character come out for the Mortal Kombat. It was I think 11 or something like that. It came out and he looked he looked just badass, dude. It looked like, damn, man, that's a badass Spawn, dude. Like it looks really kick ass. And but I was thinking like, oh man, so I guess the movie's not coming out. Then I think maybe about 6 months ago, something like that, maybe within the year, I saw a video that had mentioned something about the Spawn, or somebody had mentioned an interview with Todd McFarlane about the Spawn film, and that Jamie Foxx was going to play Spawn, but that the Spawn film was going to be rated R, and that it was not going to be like Spawn driven as far as the character. It was going to be almost like Spawn is in the cut. Like if he's kind of like a Michael Myers, let's say. Did you ever watch the HBO series, the animated series, HBO, of Spawn?
No. Oh yeah.
Oh, well, that's I can see if they're going, or if the intention, if it's made or if it's gonna be made. If the intention is that, I think that would be really cool, because throughout the animated series, you see the drama being played out between not necessarily Spawn. Like, of course, you always have to have an origin, right? So you will know what happened, but his wife that survives him or whatever, she has her family,
with the daughter,
with his best friend, right? So a time has elapsed about 5-6 years, but you see her like she's a like a reporter, right? An investigative reporter or something like that. So the storyline is that, and I was thinking to myself like, well, that would be cool if it was like following her as the reporter, trying to bring down this, like kidnappings and all this stuff that's happening. And also on the parallel to that storyline is the storyline of her husband, which works for Terry Fitzgerald, is it right? Like the boss, right?
Yeah.
And like he's running like underground weapons sales or whatever, right? He's like a gun runner or something like that. But if you were to follow those two stories, and people are dying around them, all right, I think that that's where Spawn will come in.
Okay.
Where he's taking the bad guys out, but kind of in the background, and you don't necessarily follow Spawn his arc. You see it from the point of view of the other two characters.
Well, it's true.
And I think like I thought that would be a cool idea.
Yeah, that kind of work because you have to use them for the main story the whole time.
To make it more of like the news reporter and more of a crime film, but this dude's in the background.
Yeah,
kind of like
and then what she's doing and the opposite of what he's doing, and they don't know what he's doing. Yeah,
exactly. But I don't know. How did you feel about the first Spawn?
I loved it, man. First time I saw it, I was like, oh, shit. I loved it. A lot of people didn't like. John Leguizamo. Man, I was like, dude.
He played that clown. He played awesome, dude.
Scary, man. It's like
played a badass violin.
Yeah, I remember because it was like, I was in college, and I was like, this is one of the first CGI movies,
That's right.
It was like that's what the big deal was, but cape and all that stuff. So everything was like, and then the sound. I was like, it's like, wow, it's awesome.
It hit, dude. Yeah, absolutely. When it came out,
I mean, a lot of people were trying to compare it to the comic book, but to me, I liked it. I liked the character. I liked the actor that did it. Did a good job.
Michael Jai White, man. Yeah. That dude's bad, dude. That's a bad dude.
Black Panther, man. What's up with that?
Was he playing it?
No. You know what happened, right?
No.
He's dead.
Who?
Black Panther.
Like the character himself?
No, him and the character.
Oh no, yeah, I did hear about the actor that played the first Black Panther.
But okay, so there was a movie.
Passed away.
Okay, so then while he was filming, he had cancer.
Yes.
And he was trying to fight it, but he didn't tell anyone. But he unfortunately he died. But they never killed him off in the movie. So I'm like, okay. So then I went to go see Wakanda Forever.
Yeah.
And just right there, he's dead. And I was like, okay. And there's a mourning for him. They have a funeral and everything. Just like that. I was like, wait, so what? Is he really dead? I didn't know he was dead. I didn't know he died.
You didn't know?
I didn't know.
You're late, man.
I know, big time late.
Trying to break news to me.
And I was like, but then I was like, so how did he die in the movie? They just killed him off like this, quick. It was like, they didn't explain a lot, but it was like, he had a sickness and died. So, but I was like, okay, that's it? Like, I thought it was going to be the movie and this and that. So I was like, I thought he died in like in one of the other Avenger movies or whatever. Spider-Man
or in the end game, right? A lot of the characters.
End games and all that stuff. But nope.
Nope.
It was beginning of this movie. I was like, whoa, what? That was quick. So I told him I was with my nephews. I was like, hey, did you guys see the other ones? Like, I haven't seen this, but like the last Spider-Man. So I was like, does he come in there? Does he die there? And like, no, he doesn't die there. I go, so, and then I started reading the article, and it was like, no, they made him die off of on Wakanda Forever.
Oh, well, spoilers, man.
I was like, wow, because it was like quick. I was like, did I miss something? Because I saw the trailer. It started. I watched at the beginning of the movie, and it's dead.
So, when you went to go see Wakanda Forever, did you think you were going to see the Black Panther, the male?
Yeah, because I didn't know he died. I thought I was going to see part of the movie with him and this and that. Yeah, I had no clue what was going on.
Okay.
I was...
Yeah, man. You gotta read up more.
Yeah, I had no idea. No idea.
Awesome,
Not even about the girl, nothing.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, whoa, what the hell happened here?
Did you like it? How'd you feel about it?
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, the epic fight was kind of dull. Could have been better. I mean, I expected a big old fight, and you saw, right?
I did not see
it.
Okay. I don't...
it wasn't a big fight. It was like they're on a ship and all the bad ones from the... Because now they're Aztecs from Mexico.
Oh, yeah,
the underwater ones.
Yeah, so...
Which kind of ruins James Cameron's for his Avatar because it's kind of like the same... Kind of like it.
Sure.
Because they do a good job with the whales and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Because they're hanging out to the whale. Excuse me.
In Wakanda.
In Wakanda, it looks awesome. Like, okay, that's how advertising gonna be.
Sure.
12 years later, you know. I can't believe it forever. Anyways, yeah. So look, the vision was really nice, and then they have that same beryllium or whatever it is. They have it too, so they have to have a power. They have the same power as
like the technology
as Wakanda. Yeah. So, but they're Aztecs from Mexico.
That's interesting.
And you know, they go into that vibe and everything. So, in the beginning they're cool and this and that. Then you find out they be the bad guys, whatever. But they do a good job. I think it was really done well. So, some of the underwater scenes are awesome.
Cool.
But then, you know, you're expecting this epic fight because they're like, you go with us or against us or whatever, you know. And they just finally fight and then it's over. I'm like, that's it. It wasn't like a lot of them fighting, you know. It was like real simple. So I think I expected more from that because, you know, all the other Black Panther and Avengers has been a big fight.
That's right.
Yeah. You know, so this one's like, we're getting our people and your people against, and then there's like 10 of them on the ship. There's like 10 of them, and then the rest are coming up the ship, and then you know, whatever.
Gotcha.
But you know, it is what it is, and then the girl becomes Black Panther. Sure. Or whatever.
You know what I think? It's difficult to keep an excitement from a genre that's just like forking out films, man.
Yeah.
Right. There's just, I mean, you know what this is what's interesting, dude. So, I follow a YouTube channel that's called Cartoonist Kayfabe. If any of the audience, if you're interested in comic books and things of this topic and making comic books, that's an awesome channel, Cartoonist Kayfabe. And they began their channel by talking about Wizard Magazine. Okay. Do you remember Wizard Magazine?
Yeah.
Okay, so Wizard Magazine was the reason why, at least from my understanding, the reason why the comic book industry took a huge dump. It was like a bubble, like let's say a real estate bubble. People are getting in on it, prices are going up, getting in, and then boom, right, bubble, and then you know, people are left over with a surplus of product, let's say, right? That's what this era feels like to me, is that at the time of when Jim Lee, Todd McFarlane, all these guys went to create Image Comics, I think that they were getting so much publicity. Any publicity is good publicity, right? They were getting so much publicity that their artwork went up as far as value and price, that everything was just going up. And these guys were hot, right?
Yeah.
Like they were just like tearing it up at first with Marvel, and then when they went on their own, they continued to tear it up. And it was like, man, these guys are hot. They're hot right now, right? So everybody's buying, everybody's pushing that. And it feels like even people that weren't interested in comics, investors, they jumped in the game, right?
Yeah.
That's what it feels like right now with all these superhero films, is that strike while the iron's hot. Like, I get it, it's a business.
And then Disney Plus, so they need that.
You got you have to keep people. So and it's just so much that how can you keep producing a good product?
Yeah.
If it's rushed or now it's
expanded when it doesn't need to be expanded.
It's not it's not the vision of the creators, which is what made it cool. You know, that's how I feel like. I feel like this is a repetition of what Wizard Magazine did for comics in the 90s.
Yeah.
Like 95, I guess, was when like most of it went to the toilet, just because they're oversaturated. You know, people were buying comics like by the hundreds and not even opening them, right? Like, you know, I'm gonna flip these, right? And a lot of it didn't end up panning out. But I feel like so many money people have their hand in the Marvel universe and the Marvel name now, that the quality of product that's coming out is too it's too removed from the original vision.
Yeah.
It is what it is, you know.
Yeah. Well, like Guardians of the Galaxy, you know, it was not supposed to be as big as it was. Now they're like, okay, scrambling to like come up with storylines and more characters and everything.
Milk it
They're
for as much as you can.
yeah.
Like, yeah, just slow down, man, chill.
Mm-hmm.
Look at James Cameron, right? That is the perfect example of just relax and take your time. Between Terminator and Terminator 2, a long time elapsed. Awesome films. A long time elapsed between the Avatar, right? I mean, what's the rush? You know, it's
But now he's gonna knock them out every other year.
But when you have, if you work for a company, let's say Disney, this film is getting ready to be made. Are you on board? No. Well, we'll find somebody.
Yeah.
Rather than finding the right person and saying, you know what, this is yours. Make it a work of art.
Cash cow.
But that's just my kind of take on it. But
they try to rush it. Yeah, it's true.
It feels like that.
Yeah.
It feels like that, and it's
hot at the moment, but still, like,
I get it.
much.
I mean, it's a business, dude. Yeah. It's a business, you know. But you lose something in the rush of
well, the world of Star Wars right now, it's like
I agree.
Come on, it's too much.
Like, what's did you saw the whole Mandalorian thing though?
No.
Oh no. You know what?
I saw the first 2 episodes. 3 episodes.
I like that because I think it was in the right hands. Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, I believe his name is. It was their baby, and that's what it felt like.
Yeah.
Because it was. Do you remember the Wild Wild West TV show in the 80s?
Yes, that's what I told my dad.
Man, it felt just like that. The Mandalorian. It had that feel like it was kind of a Western, and every I'm not good with series or ongoing shows.
Okay.
I'm just like, man, just give it to me in an hour and a half or 2 hours, man. Just give me a movie.
Okay.
Like, my attention span is, I don't like the slow pace of a series because it's intentional, right? They're building up for something that's going to happen 3 weeks from now. So for me, my attention span is too low. But with the Mandalorian, it felt cool, man. It felt like every episode was a little mini adventure, and it was an arc. It was like beginning, middle, and end. Cool, but I understand that it's continuing to a larger arc.
Yeah.
But it was really, for me, I was engaged in it. I'm like, man, this is cool. The characters cool looking.
Yeah.
And the world, it felt like they're using that new dome, right? Whatever they're filming in, whatever that thing's called. And man, that thing is pulling off some amazing landscapes, man. So it was really cool. But also that they went back to like a traditional art form of the 80s, 70s and 80s Star Wars, right? The creatures in actual costumes, very, very little CGI, with the exception of the landscape. But it looked convincing. I mean, it was like so high def. It looked convincing. But what sold it in an awesome way is that, like, the middle ground and foreground was all practical. So it's extremely well executed, dude. So, but I did enjoy The Mandalorian. My brother told me that he finished seeing Andor recently. Yeah, and he said it was all right. That he liked it. He wasn't boasting about it, but.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Check it out.
I was like, oh, come on.
Some more, huh?
But I just figured, they got to find something.
Yeah, they might as well just keep on going.
I mean, I think that George Lucas just said, here, I just told you.
Yeah, yeah, man.
Here,
maybe it's just too much for him to.
It was probably like starting to all these branches out, and he's like, oh, man, you know what?
Yeah,
I don't want to be part of this. It's my baby, but...
I think
that's never the intention,
So, some properties get to a point where, like the original artist has no control over it anymore.
Yeah,
like,
that's
now
true.
The fans are involved. Now the fans are making films.
You got to cater to them, yeah.
The fans are expanding the universe, and it's almost like they beat you to the punch on certain ideas.
That's true.
So, and especially now, right, with social media and how fast an idea can come out. I think, I mean, you just got to throw your hands
like some of those made
fan films.
Dude, it's like, damn,
they're good, dude. Right?
Some are good, man. And you got the stupid movies like Cocaine Bear.
What?
Oh my, you ever seen those things? No. Oh my god. Talking about story scripts, right?
Yeah.
My god,
Wow.
it's so stupid. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, this is real? It's not a YouTube trailer? No, it was at the theater.
Wow.
Poster and everything.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
Drug cartels are delivering drugs to wherever. The plane crashes onto the forest.
Oh man, it
cracks out. The bear gets all addicted to it.
Wow.
And now has to look for cocaine.
Oh my goodness.
And so like a guy has goes like this in his pocket, and he's powder. And he's like,
oh man,
it's all crazy. So it's like a comedy, but it's also like a horror.
Bro,
but the script is so stupid. I'm like,
I think you just sold me on it, bro. I kind of want to watch it.
Oh my god, I was like,
bear?
Man,
that's awesome.
We could do it.
Yes,
we could do anything,
dude. Okay, on the topic of doing anything, again, flipping through Tubi. And, if the audience is familiar with Tubi, right, it's an application. So on the television, just popping through. There's some free movies with commercial ads, but still cool. So in flipping through there, okay, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, right? It was like the old school thing, right? Dude, I'm flipping through there, and I could have sworn I saw something like the Revenge of the Killer Donuts.
Really?
Something like that, dude. Something about Killer Donuts. I'm just like, really, bro?
At work, we worked on the movie Zombeavers.
Awesome.
So beavers, zombies.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, they rented this house out, and the river, I guess, is contaminated with some kind of drugs. I mean, with some kind of medicine or whatever, and then all the beavers become zombies.
Awesome.
And it's like that was the actual gist of the whole movie. And they're gnawing trying to get into the cabin. They're like, nah. And the whole time is the song, Zombeavers are going to get you.
Sick.
It's like this 80s kind of song theme. And it was like the whole time you're like, oh my god, this is so stupid. It's like, but they saw the script and they made money, I guess, but it was,
that's funny.
It's like Universal or something.
Wow.
Yeah, and this one's also, I think this is Universal or Sony, the Cocaine Bear.
Oh,
and I was like, oh my god, it's funny, but it's so ridiculous. It's like,
I
was telling my dad, if I would have come up to you and said, hey, Dad, I'm going to come up with the movie. I'm going to write the script, okay? I'm going to do a Cocaine Bear. What are you thinking? And like, but dude, it's like crazy.
It is
crazy,
a full
crazy.
Feature film.
Look, right here, she's probably singing the same damn song the whole movie.
Finally,
Madonna's
let it out, dude.
But yeah, dude, I was like, oh my god, this is like, I was sitting at the theater going, this is real. This is actually this is a real movie.
So you saw a trailer for it?
I saw a trailer for it, yeah.
Oh, wow. At the theater?
At the theater, so it's not like, it wasn't like on YouTube or anything. So. I mean, it's on YouTube now, but,
sure. Yeah.
But, because some of them you can't even tell if it's true, real or not, like the call they were talking about, like Mandalorian or whatever. Some of those movies, man, the fan movies, they're so good.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of them from Mortal Kombat too, It's like It's like whoa, so there's Mortal Kombat, right? The movie came out already.
Yeah.
And then
the most
there's gonna be
one?
so there's gonna be a part 2.
Oh, there is,
right?
Okay, I don't know.
And then they also Hollywood Johnny.
Hollywood Johnny.
Johnny.
Oh, it's Johnny Cage is Johnny Cage. Because
they kind of point toward it, like that's gonna be the next movie before part 2 for Mortal Kombat. I don't know. That's what I felt, and then I haven't heard anything from that.
Oh, you were under the impression that Mortal Kombat, or there is going to be a Mortal Kombat 2.
Well,
Have you heard?
Yeah, no, I thought I'm
you thought
like
there was.
The way it ends, it's supposed to be.
Oh, okay.
Because they're like, we're gonna come back and get revenge and this and that.
You know what? I didn't get that from that. No, because if you play the game, I believe in Mortal Kombat 2, he starts doing that. If one of his fatalities or a friendship is he signs an autograph and then he throws it. And you see his picture. So for me, I thought like, oh, that's just Johnny Cage's gimmick. I didn't take it as like, oh, stay tuned. At least I didn't take it that way. But it's a part of his gimmick. Like he signs an autograph and he like throws it. And it's the dude's friendship. But
but I thought Mortal Kombat would have been a big movie enough to like have part 2. Yeah.
Mortal Kombat. I found.
Did it flop?
I think so. I think the Kano character. I thought that dude spoke too much. I found him annoying, man.
Yeah.
I just found it annoying, but I did like the Cabal. The look of him in there. I'm like, damn, that's a badass looking character, man. I was hoping that they would dig more into his storyline, but who knows? I mean. It's out there. I thought it was cool the way that they were like discovering their power, right? Because they were like forcing it out of them.
Yeah, because it was just hiding or anything.
Yeah. I thought that was a cool storytelling tool that they put together and stuff like that. That was cool. But other than that, it didn't really. I don't know. It didn't really.
It wasn't like your cup of tea.
No, I love the ninja fighting stuff. That was cool.
Yeah, that's why I watched it with my dad because he likes all that stuff. So like, oh, you watch this one. I started like talking about Sub-Zero and like it kind of lost after that. Hey, he's like, nice, come here. And he's like, He's like, that's the old school.
Yeah. I like the first one, the first old school one. That one was cool. Cheesy but cool. I liked it. The second one, Annihilation, not as much. But this one that came out, I mean, the characters are more like story heavy, especially Mortal Kombat's up to like 11, and I don't know whether or not they're gonna make another one, but the persons that know a lot about the Mortal Kombat realm, NetherRealm or whatever, I think they might have found it more interesting because they probably picked up on little things, from the game that the general public probably wouldn't. Speaking of Mortal Kombat 12, dude, did you see Rambo? Last Blood? Last Rambo?
Oh my god. Which one? He doesn't
No, the last one.
The one he's like in his ranch? Yeah. Or goes to Mexico? Or goes to TJ?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
That's literally Mortal Kombat 12, bro.
Yeah?
For anyone that hasn't watched it, if you want to see Mortal Kombat 12, watch Rambo Last Blood.
Wow.
Dude, right? Did you see it?
Yeah.
Oh, man, dude. That movie was like gnarly, bro.
With the girl, right?
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's just like,
you didn't
he
care,
just took it to another level, man.
Yeah.
If you're going to go down, I guess if you're going to go out, that's Last Blood,
There's another one. He came out with that. What's him? He comes out of jail.
Yeah.
Tulsa or
Breakout. Oh, no. Oh, you're talking about the television series.
Yeah, that one. He comes back as an officer, but then he's out, and so they send him to like Tulsa or something.
Okay. Is this supposed to be a comedy?
It's pretty funny, dude.
Oh.
It's pretty funny because he goes to be a badass. He doesn't understand that. Like, he goes there and he's like, okay, who's selling drugs here? And he's like, oh, this is a dispensary.
The drugstore.
So you guys say dispensary, dude. And he's like telling the guys, all right, I'll protect you guys if you guys give me. Protect us from what? From who? From the government.
Zombie.
And then there's like, and he's like, the government and the gangs. It's like, the gangs? The government. It's like, it's illegal.
Okay.
So it's like, he's naive because he's been in jail so long,
Yeah.
And it's funny. I liked it. It's pretty good. But it's done to the point that he's still serious about it, And he doesn't. And then his driver. He's kind of like schooling him on everything, and he still doesn't like open up yet, Okay. So I liked it. It's pretty good because you see a different side of him.
All right.
Like that little funny part side of him, but it's pretty good. And then he has another show too, right? Like another one he's on.
I don't know about show, but he recently made that film where he was a superhero, a Samaritan.
Okay, that one too.
Did you see that?
I haven't seen it yet. Yeah, that one is pretty good though.
I'm interested in
the
seeing
little kids on.
what
Come on,
his
you
take
got
is
powers
on
and
it.
stuff.
Yeah,
right?
because I think he wrote this. Did he write the story?
It's a movie or is it a show?
I believe it was a film. It was a film.
Okay, yeah.
We'll look more into it.
I think it is part of his I think that's the one I was thinking too. That one and then this one.
Okay.
But this one's pretty good.
Right on.
Yeah, but I don't because it has it's on Paramount. Paramount
Plus,
app.
Yeah.
And so they only give you the first episode. That's it.
Gotcha.
So you're like, oh, you bastard. Then once you pay, I'm not gonna pay for the rest of it.
Gotcha.
I mean, it's funny and good, but it's not.
Sure.
Yeah. But I liked it.
Cool. All right. Well, it looks like we're coming here toward the end of the video. So to the audience, I'd like to say thank you for hanging out. If you would like to show some love for the artist, the best way to do so is to pick up some merch. Get yourself a t-shirt, a hoodie, or some stickers. A link to the shop will be in the description below. And if you'd like to reach out to me for a commission, you could do that through Instagram or through email. And lastly, feel free to share the video and spread the word about the channel. I greatly appreciate the support in helping the channel grow. Anthony, anything you'd like to add?
No, it's fun talking to you, man. It's kind of cool. Those the paint you're doing here, are those the colors going to be on the shirt?
No.
It's different?
No, it's been different
Okay,
for the
cool.
paintings. And I
It's just
encourage
like
you, everyone, go check out the merchandise again. Take your pick if you enjoy anything you see. Cool. But
thanks, man. It's fun.
it was fun, dude. I appreciate you taking the time to hang out. And to everyone out there in this amazing spiral, take care, enjoy life, and be kind.